Hey, Lake Grove family. Here we go again with a video devotional, or video devo, as I like to call them. And today it is story number 292 from our Bible storybook, The Poor Rich Man. Pause the video now if you still need to read the story before we continue. You know, the title of today's story caught my attention, The Poor Rich Man. Why was the rich man poor? He had more than he needed, but he kept worrying about the future. Would he have enough for his future needs? The poor guy was always stressing about this, so he put his energy towards socking away enough resources to take care of him for a long time. And then he died and never got to use what he had saved. Poor guy, poor rich man. And it's a pretty relevant story for many of us as we get older. Will I have enough for my retirement? People are living longer now and they wonder if they'll have enough savings to carry them through. And what about the security of Social Security? Is it really secure? Some people's pensions have disappeared when the economy goes south. And it makes us worry. It can make us into poor rich people. Because on a global scale, we are all pretty rich. Well, Jesus says, don't be so worried about these things, or at least don't operate out of fear and be so focused on providing for yourself that you miss the blessings God has for you and the opportunities to be a blessing. God is the great provider. He provides for the birds and the flowers, and he will also provide for us. He's giving us his kingdom, a whole new way of being. Seek that, most of all. Seek God and his kingdom way of living, and you will find that you also have everything else you need. Now, I don't think Jesus is advising us to be financially irresponsible. He's not saying that a savings account is evil or that planning for your future is unnecessary, but it's a matter of God-guided balance. Invest your resources and your energies as God directs, and you will see your anxiety diminish and your joy grow. In the Bible version itself of this passage, it ends with the famous and fascinating line, "For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." One way of understanding this is for us to examine how we spend our resources and our time, the treasure of our time and our talents and our money and our possessions. And when you see where your stuff and yourself are really devoted, where your time's going, where your money's going, and so on, it'll tell you where your heart really is. And you'll either be happy or unhappy with that. And if you're not happy with where your heart is, well, it's time to prayerfully yield yourself to God's Spirit so you can make some adjustments. Seek first God's kingdom and righteousness, and you'll be fine. Last comment, back to the title. Just as there are poor rich people, there are also rich poor people, aren't there? Many of us who have spent time with the poor have experienced the biblical truth found in James 2, that God has chosen those who are poor in the eyes of the world, has given them more faith, and has blessed them with the promise of the kingdom. Perhaps the poor seek God's kingdom better because they don't have anything else they're able to seek. And perhaps we have so much that it distracts us from seeking God's kingdom. Well, it's something to think about. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.